This is a Conversation Project. I am Jay Cleveland Payne. The Conversation Project, or actually, it's things you might have heard from the Conversation Project, where the whole project is your home for headline news, information, and pop culture references that are worth chatting about. And oh boy, does my heart do be good today as we chat about Cardi B, as this episode is essentially dedicated to my man, Doc Washburn, the conservative right-wing talk show host here locally in Little Rock that loves him some Cardi B. And we talk about Cardi B injustice on his view. Some people may not think so. Also, the Epstein files were released, sort of, last night, maybe. And because we have to do a little bit of dirt, there are stories of love today and stories of a bit of Cory Booker. Cory Booker. And we're going to talk about a person on, we'll revive the future ex-wives list. We'll explain that when we get to the end of the show. Now we're going to talk about these stories and more with you. Of course, through the scope of this show today, 8 stories total to get to. You help us pick these by following us on our feeds on Facebook and X and engaging with them with the people, y'all people together. And we will see how this thing rolls in the final edit. We will see. But to be a part of the show, to be a part of what we do going on, other than watching, sharing, and all those things, you have to visit our website, because it gets you more context of what we do about here. So go to this. It's theconversationproject.com. This is conversationproject.com to get about a conversation and more stuff about the Conversation Project, things you might have heard, the hot takes, things like that. And of course, visit our sponsors and partnerships page and help us keep things going here. Also, big spotlight to our spotlight sponsor of the day, which is Ground News. Visit them via our link. This is conversationproject.com/ground news. Get 40% off their Advantage plan for news, and we get a small commission for your deal. Now, as we said, 8 stories to come. We have a lot to get to in hopefully a short amount of time. We'll see how pithy I can be today. Working on it. Let's get into the really big story. Although Cardi B is large in our hearts, this is the big story that should have us worried right now. Trump responds as Putin, Kim Jong-un, and Xi appear together in China's military parade. The odd thing is that they spell out Kim Jong-un's name because you might consider him, get confused with, his pops or his granddad, I guess. But Trump actually reacted to a joint rare appearance by Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un, and Xi Jinping at China's massive military parade marking the PLA's 98th anniversary. They've been communists for a little while now, and so this is them celebrating for what's going on. A large parade, because that's what those kind of people do, as opposed to Trump's birthday parade, which was a bit of a mess. He, being Trump, called it a show of weakness disguised as strength. Hold that in your head for a little bit. Framing the spectacle as posturing rather than a genuine alliance. That's the 3 people together, not so much the parade. Both of them were essentially bad looks by Donald Trump. The event showcased China's newest missiles, their drones, and their naval power, with North Korea and Russian leaders symbolically aligned at Beijing's invitation. I think Modi was there as well, which made things even more kind of awkward. Analysts warned that the optics may deepen the concern over growing authoritarian cooperation. When you have a group of bad guys hanging out together, you get to worry a bit more. And while I think that China is more of an adversary in the political mind and money wide, they don't like us. They want to be better than us, and they're doing what they can to show that they are. Kim Jong-un loves the attention, but he will daddy up to China because that's what he does all the time. And Putin is Putin. You can't undo Putin. He is what it is, and you can't see it. There's something wrong with your eyes. You thought we forgot about the Epstein files? No one forgets about the Epstein files, and they're going to be out. Well, some of them are already out. But they've been out already. The House Oversight Committee actually released its first set of Epstein files, flight logs, financial documents, and redacted communications. Today, they're going to start having survivors of Epstein's work are supposed to start testifying, working in there. Within a couple of weeks, we'll have lots of testimony going forward. Right now, they're doing a lot of interviews, but what we're going to see in the future fairly soon will be more speaking out in public, on the record. Some people speaking for the first time ever. So lawmakers are arguing that transparency is necessary for accountability, and privacy advocates are warning the collateral damage of uninvolved individuals, people who were just sort of on the list or just sort of there being pulled there. Here's the problem, though. The documents that were released last night are essentially everything we've already seen already. Basically, Pam Bondi's blank binders. Again, nothing new was released. Now they're working on making sure that things that get unredacted or things that have not been released will protect the people who have not spoken out yet. But there's nothing new, nothing bombshellish, nothing even remotely interesting that has not been said or shown already. A series of rolling releases by Congress and the full documents may happen. Of course, Donald Trump says, why do we care? There's a reason why we care. We just want this thing answered, essentially. Just get it done with so we can move on with life. I believe Donald Trump's, not being implicated in anything going forward. I think he's just wants to play war guy, and Epstein stuff gets in the way of playing war guy because it makes you wonder, why are we playing so much war guy? I think he just wants to play war guy, period. This is a story that popped up on the X this morning that I had no idea what was going on, and I honestly don't particularly care. But it shows that in the background, there's a weird sense of the MAGA groups or the Trump supporters where people are realizing that Trump's not perfect. You have to actually call out the things that are wrong. And the people who want Trump to look perfect are calling out people that think Trump is wrong. Somewhere that made sense. Alex Jones has abruptly removed Infowars host Tyler Bowers, the current host of Infowars, and MAGA aligned advocates who started criticizing Trump for drifting from core principles. Bauer accused Trump of compromising with globalists and stance that has clashed with Jones' loyalty to the platform and all the stuff going forward, basically the Trump love. The ouster illustrates how Trump criticism, even within the right, remains a career risk at MAGA media spaces. If you say bad things about the boss, expect to get your box and pack it and get 30 minutes to leave. Jones doubled down by calling Bowers a plant and reaffirming Infowars' pro-Trump stance. Bowers was a plant planted by Jones in his own organization, which I thought was dead, but apparently not quite as dead as I thought it was. But, Alex Jones. A jury has acquitted Cardi B in Los Angeles in the assault case involving a security guard. It happened in 2023, and the assault cases are tied to an incident where a security guard accused her of punching and scratching him in a Hollywood event. Cardi B and all her wigs showed up for this trial of the century. Did he? No. Cardi B was it. And prosecutors actually led the rapper attacked after being denied access to a backstage area. Defense lawyers argued that guard initiated contact. Cardi just said a bunch of curse words. She was not so nice, not so ladylike, but there were no punches or scratches thrown or scratched. The jury deliberated for less than a day before clearing up the charges. Cardi B celebrated outside a courthouse, calling her verdict a vindication to nearly 2 years of litigation. The case highlights the scrutiny that public figures face in disputes that might otherwise remain private, underscoring how celebrity magnifies every confrontation. And all the wigs. All the wigs, all the love. Cardi B came to court ready, was Cardi B. And like I said, as we dedicate this episode to Mr. Doc Washburn, was Cardi B. We need your help. Like, share, and subscribe to the work we're doing here, this video particularly, and other things we're doing on X, on Facebook, and on TikTok as well. TikTok is where more of the shorter things go, or the hot takes. But we here on YouTube Shorts, use that as our big gauging stick of how things go. So like what you're seeing, so more people will see it because the algorithm will think it's good. I also will think you think it's good, and we work from there. Comments also work as well. Share it with like-minded folks so that more people can be involved in our conversations. Hopefully they'll like it and share it as well. And subscribe if you're not seeing this directly into your feeds. Whether you're on X or Facebook, where you can engage in things and help us pick the stories, or on YouTube, which we use as our main graphic stick. Now, going to YouTube right now, we hit 2,000 subscribers right around the turn of the year, and we were hoping to double it. Now, it took us a while to get 2,000, so that was very, very, very ambitious. We're maybe getting close to stuttering 800 to 1,000 new subscribers within the next 3-4 months of the year, and that would be awesome. So if you want to help us hit those marks, let us thank you in advance. But right now, our YouTube numbers are at 2,430 subscribers as of this morning, the 3rd of September. Thank you very much. Help us grow. We need more growth. We need more conversation going back and forth. The AP Top 25 college rankings are out, and after 1 week of actual football, there's a 0 week, of course. The Buckeyes are now in the number one spot, jumping from 3-1 after their beat down of Texas. Not really a beat down, if you will, but they beat them handily. And of course, the defending champions losing that game, and of course, happening there. Now, here's what's happening. Ohio State got the 38 of 62 first place votes. Georgia dropped to third, and Texas climbed in the top 5. That does not make sense. That doesn't make any sense because Texas is like 17. Yeah, the robot editor was very bad today. Ohio State's first number 1 AP ranking since 2015. That is true. The shift sets a dramatic early season for the playoff positioning, as they are defending champions. They do have the stick to run with for a while, and they are showing so far, although Texas did not put on a great showing, that they do have a team that can go the distance. Winning the first game of what should have been a powerhouse team in Texas is a good start to the season. 3 stories of love, if you will. Starting off with this one, which is a bit of an off-putting one, but you never know. You literally never know. As a woman unexpectedly went into labor during Burning Man. Yes, they had a murder in Burning Man. That was most of the story there. And yes, there's lots of stories about last year everybody got stuck in the mud. This year, one of the heartwarming stories is a lady delivered a healthy baby in a Black Rock City's medical tent. The child is nicknamed Playa Baby because it's Burning Man, but became an instant symbol of the event's unpredictability. Organizers confirmed both the mother and the newborn are stable, recovering off-site. And this is one of the rare recorded births at a counterculture festival. In most cases, these things don't happen. In fact, you don't usually bring pregnant women to these things because of the scarcity of resources. She didn't know she was having a baby. So when she had the baby, all were surprised. And Playa Baby is now one of the biggest festival goers there is. There'll be Player Baby memes, Player Baby merch. Player Baby will be the darling of Burning Man for years to come until Player Baby goes goth and just sort of loses it as a burnout in high school. My prediction. A story of love where Chloë Grace Moretz has married Kate Harrison in a private ceremony. The actress wed her longtime partner in a small private ceremony over Labor Day weekend. Couple was been together for a while, since 2018, and they chose an intimate California setting with close friends and family. Photos released on social media show the two in simple, non-traditional attire, with the marriage being widely celebrated for fans as a milestone for LGBTQ plus love stories. So if you have those love stories in your heart, there you have it. If you were pining for Miss Moretz and not of the right, basically not the right persuasion from her, my condolences. This story of love has a bit of hater tone to it. And there's a lot wrapped in this thing, so bear with me. We're going to go along with this. Oh, I apologize. So Senator Cory Booker has announced he's engaged to a new girlfriend who, ironically, coincidentally, resembles past girlfriend Rosario Dawson, who we'll get to a moment about, is a part of my future ex-wives club. That's a private joke. That's not so private. We'll get to that in a second. But Senator Cory Booker revealed his engagement to public relations executive Claire Waters, drawing attention to her resemblance to ex Rosario Dawson. Now, Ms. Dawson was dating Senator Booker when he was running for president, because at some point in time, becoming president, you've got to have a wife. And why not have Rosario Dawson? Because she's awesome. She's an activist. She's a pretty good actress. All working there. Didn't work out. Neither did the presidential campaign. So things happen. But 8 years later, wow, it's been a long time. Booker proposed during a weekend retreat in Vermont to Waters, who he called my partner in purpose and joy. Now, because Waters looks like Dawson, tabloid coverage. And we see here in the picture on the right, Dawson, older picture. And on the left, younger, more suave looking, or older, but more suave looking Cory Booker at the event after proposing to his now fiance, that being Waters. It gets confusing, gets weird. It's all sort of just basically me just being a kind of, a hater on this case. But the engagement reshapes Booker's public persona, and it weighs his future political ambitions. Now that Booker may have a wife, maybe he'll be easier to take in as a presidential candidate or a higher office person. maybe. Now, future ex-wives club. These are people that I had crushes on during my time in my single years, and then now I've been married for over 20 years. If I'm ever unmarried to my beautiful wife, Christina with a K, these are people who are on the list to go to next for future ex-wives. That's the joke. That's it. I don't know Rosario Dawson. She would not have me anyway. And I think my current wife, who is not the ex, who giggles every time I bring this up in public, and then, of course, will scold me in private. Sorry, ex, we're going long today. So there you have it. Cory Booker is engaged to a woman who looks exactly like the last woman he dated. I wrote a movie about that once, and it was really, really kind of funny, although tragic at the same time. Let's get past the funny. Let's get past the tragic. Let's get into what's actually out there and what we should be checking on. And that is the news, how news plays throughout the world with us and with folks who aren't U.S. us around the world. Ground News will help you do that. If you want to get a better accounting of how news is covered around the world or in your neighborhood, Ground News can help you out. They will aggregate for you news stories that are local to you or national stories to wherever your nationality is, or international stories for all of us. You can get to see how these stories are covered, how these stories are portrayed, how different viewers are seeing things, how different publishers are publishing things. And what's really cool is they have all these great features, such as the blind spot feature, which allows you to see stories that your particular silo is not covering, or other silos are covering more of or less of. So you get a chance of seeing how people really do understand and take in their news coverage. This is a great deal, but it's not all free. And if you use our link, we'll help you get a deal on it. 40% off their Vantage plan, which gives you news for $10 a month, less than that. Or you can get their lower plan that's literally $1 a month after you get in your 40% off plans. It's that simple. Use our link at this. It's a conversationproject.com/ground news. This is a conversationproject.com/ground news. We get a small commission for that, so that's why we have to put it that way. But Ground News will get you in with the news you really need to hear and see and involve yourself in, because people who say they do their own research basically go through rabbit holes that say the same things. Do some actual comparison, side-by-side comparison of headlines and some of the article details with Ground News. All that done. Wednesday, September the 3rd, 2025 is done for this edition of Things You Might Have Heard. I am Jay Cleveland Payne. Thank you so much for being a part of the Conversation Project's crew, being part of the love we like to show you by chatting up news stories. Check it out. Look into the comments, or I'm sorry, comment away. We want comments, but take a look into the actual description for the episode. We do have the link today for today in history, or this day in history. The history is every day. It's 300 things like that. We have a link to the website for History is Every Day, which has links to the newsletter, the actual headlines for what today's history lesson is. Also, the quick, short YouTube video, about 2.5 minutes in most cases. That's 3 of the history lessons, 3 of the people born, 3 people that died in this day. And we have a link to some other history type news stuff we do. We've been rabbit holing a lot of kind of odder style history notes, and so you'll see some of those portrayed in longer form versions, about 8 minutes or so, 8 to 10 minutes on these cases here. And we're using the traditional 8 themes, so there's like 8 reasons why, 8 points to whatever. Check those out as well. Links to that at the website. A little bit cleaner, a little bit newer, a little bit fresher for History is Every Day. By the way, just go to historyiseveryday.com, see all the stuff. Love you, mean it. Glad to have this Wednesday in. Long day that happened with things happening on. Good news, better news on the Jay Cleveland Payne personal site, personal front. But if you have good news, let us know as well, because we want to be a part of your great days, your great stuff. Let us know. Email me at theconversationinbox@gmail.com. Follow us on the feeds. Make sure you consider being a partner, and have a great Wednesday.